absolutely do. No shade. I mean, you absolutely do. All right, Tori, let's talk about Kate Gosselin. She is refusing to take a lie detector test after her estranged husband, Colin, renewed
No, that's
explosive.
not her husband. That's one of her sons.
Oh, excuse me, estranged son, Colin, renewed explosive allegations. Thank you, Tori, of childhood abuse ahead of the release of his memoir.
I have so much to say.
I need your thoughts.
That's Kate Gosselin with a lot of Botox. There's Colin. So if you don't know Kate,
After filming season 2 of Bikers and Pitbulls.
Okay. It does look like that. So I used to be obsessed with Kate +8 or something. I was obsessed with it. She first went on Oprah and was like super honest about her body, and people just took to that TLC show. Okay. And Kate +8, right? I watched like every episode. It was just like she was funny, the kids were funny, her husband, it was like, and the testimonials were good. And then you started to see things that were like really weird. So one of the times she was doing a testimonial with her husband, I don't remember his name, John. I think it was John. She goes,
it was John, Jon.
Yeah. And she goes, can you just like not breathe? It's so annoying. And I was like, oh, like that's kind of spicy. And then clips behind the scenes came out. And so one of the girls was like, in a photo shoot, she was like, I'm so thirsty, Mom. Can I please get a water? And she goes, quiet. And then she gets a water, Kate. She's like, you don't get a water. And I was like, oh. And then a lot of the kids went to John. They like became estranged. I'm like, oh. I think there was a lot of problems with the way she made momager. Never forget the fact that my mom would write in her diary how she had to pray to God to stop hitting me. This was while I was 2 years old. And this is why using my voice to put these things in the light is so important. He would not have written that if that's false. That's defamation. That is horrific. Yeah, she used those kids and she was not a good mom. I did not realize.
Yeah. I mean, it's disturbing. And it makes me think about what we talked about at the top of the show with those mommy vloggers and those family vlog. Anybody that's like willing to so openly put their TV in front of the world the way John, because this wasn't just a big YouTube channel. It's got 400,000 subscribers. That's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
When you start talking about John and Kate +8, that was like a top 10 show for a couple of years.
TLC all over it.
And it's just like you are putting your kids in front of the world. And like the ease at which she did that lets me know that she was thinking a lot about herself. You see like A-listers that still hide their kids' face to this day.
Yeah, like I think she was actually, I'm not like a clinician, but there's a narcissism personality disorder. And she, to my opinion, had it. By the way, the hitting comes from Colin Gosselin in his new, is it Gosselin? Yeah, in his new memoir. I'm going to read that because very suspicious things came out. John left and divorced her and was like, I'm never speaking to her again. And so why? And the kids, like a lot of them went to John, and I'm like, anyway, it's just, I watch it religiously too. And her hair, remember the hair, Julia?
Her hair just looked crazy.
So she had a bob haircut on this side and then a almost shaved feather peacock on this side. It was like the worst mom Karen hair. It was like, it was bad. It was really bad. The hair was quite bad. Anyway.
Well, Tori, we were talking about people in the news, and I don't know, did you see, we talked briefly last week. I don't know if you were on the show. We talked about Phil Mickelson, the golfer that said that he's gambled $1 billion in the last decade or so. And and that's not the main story.
No.
2 weeks ago, roughly, he was ejected from a country club for what they called inappropriate touching. Do you know what a rich white man has to do to get kicked out of a golf country club?
A famous rich white man.
Super famous, synonymous with the sport. Do you know what he's got to do? Can you imagine? All right. Well, Tori, there's still more issues going on with this man. Seems like there might be some things that he should go into treatment for, and not fake treatment. Like he needs real treatment, because it says Phil Mickelson's wife is going to stand by her man, even though, Tori, we're dealing with the scandal, and not just any kind of scandal, a dick pic scandal. As you can imagine, Phil Mickelson's wife stood up and said she's standing firmly in his corner as the embattled pro golfer is in the middle of a D-pick controversy. His wife is standing with grace and unwavering support, according to Phil Mickelson's agent, after another pro golfer, Pat Perez's ex-wife, Ashley, claimed that Phil showed her a photo of his erect penis. I don't know if we need to have that, but I guess after Brett Favre, you need to clarify because Brett was coming in unfluffed. And then after showing her the erect penis, propositioned her. So almost like you would, I don't know.
That's like Louis C.K. would do in the green room of the Comedy Store. He'd just show his penis and be like, "Can I masturbate to you?" And Sarah Silverman's like, "I allowed that."
Yeah, in front of you, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, in front of you. This is what it is.
Okay. His palm itches.
The money. She's staying for the money. That's all this is.
But she could murder him in court.
They have a prenup.
Would do prenups cover infidelity?
Yeah. And moral clauses there. I mean, you can make an airtight everything. And she's staying for the money, in my opinion. It's all for the money. Someone says I can't with the
there's been a lot of touching and rubbing, unsolicited and unrequested. Yeah, I mean, Tori, look, you could say she's staying for the money, but do you think they're just some women that just like, I know my man is rotten, but he's mine?
No, after all of this, it's been gambling, sexual harassment, showing his erect penis. I don't know what woman. Now, Hillary Clinton stood by her man. So, hey, you have
that. That was more political. That
was politically motivated. This to me is just a money grab. It's just a money grab. By the way, Phil Mickelson also did that golf tournament in Rio.
In
Saudi, right?
Right. And he took a ton of money. They were throwing a ton of money at American golfers.
He's gambling. He needs money.
Yeah. And now that Live Golf is shut down because the money's slowed up because of everything that's going on with the war. So very interesting. All right, Tori, lastly, in terms of pop culture, I wanted to ask you about our girl, Diana Russini. We haven't talked about her in a while. Remember, just to refresh you in the colleagues' mind, she was the highest paid journalist at The Athletic, which is owned by the New York Times. They report on sports and sports related stories. Tori, she was photographed and kind of outed, even though she's a married woman, he's a married man, with coach of the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel. They were caught at a couples resorts doing couples kinds of things. They initially said, well, these don't reflect the other 6 people that were on the trip. And people were like, where are they? And they were like, we don't know where they are.
They were on a stroll.
They're on a stroll and they don't exist. So I don't know. So they had to finally come clean. The New York Times said they were going to do an investigation on this. And Diana Russini was like, no need to. I'm going to step away. But Tori, the New York Times kept investigating. Why do you think they do that?
So there's a reputation to be had. First of all, the New York Times has investigative journalists. So it's not like this is hard to do. And I think they want to keep their reputation. They had a lot of issues with the Palestinian-Israel anti-Semitic twinge, kind of taint color. Sorry for saying that word.
Yeah.
But a lot of people got upset. I think there's evidence, just like Michael Dean says, there's body cam, which is like an easy get.
Well, we're about to get to the body cam story in a second.
Yeah. So I just want to say, like, the New York Times has a real standard reputation. And if someone was doing this with both famous people and one of the reporters, it's an easy get. I mean, you have to look into otherwise, what are you doing? Well,
Tori, you hit it on the head when you said investigative reporters. That's kind of what they do there.
It's all they do.
And they investigated their old coworker and they found that, they went through all her podcasts. Think about how much stuff you say day after day going on NFL Live and ESPN and Yahoo Sports. You don't like somebody going through every single thing you said. And somebody found a podcast where she goes, I used it. One time I got pulled over by a cop and he asked me why you're speeding. And I said, oh, this story just broke about this coach getting fired. And he was like, whatever. And she goes, who's your favorite coach? And I'll FaceTime him right now. And so the footage from that pulling over has surfaced because Tori, you cannot hide from anything. Oh my gosh.
I know. Carol Spicker just gave us $100 for all the facts, MD, and all the chat for Tori, Al, MD, and SAR.
No.
Carol. Thank you.
What if you took it back if you hit her with one more Carol? What if, and I would be like, good for you for standing up for yourself, Carol. I would have done the same. No shade.
I'm so incredibly kind. That is incredibly kind. Thank you for that. That's huge.
Yeah. Well, Tori, obviously, this now with her getting the body camera footage surfacing, this now calls into question, is she using her job ethically? Because if you get pulled over and you just go, hey, I'll you want me to FaceTime this hot model I represent, like that's illegal, I'm sure, some way, unethical at least. And so I think that the longer she goes without speaking, the more that reporters, investigative reporters, people that have fired her are going to speak for her. So do you think she needs to say something? Because this is not a good look, but especially I'm assuming she's trying to get her life back together, her husband back together, and pictures of Mike Vrabel and his wife surfaced and they look happy as a clam.
You say nothing. My dad is at the top defense litigation firm in the country, okay? The two words they say the most to their clients, and these are bad people, like Oliver North, like Joe McCarthy, like not good people that his firm represents. You tell them to shut up.
I thought it was call strippers. That's what I would be saying if we had money like that around the office. I'm like, what is it, Thursday Junior? Let's do it. My famous two words.
So all of what you say could be used as discovery. Everything you say. You got to go silent. You got to disappear and hope that the news cycle runs out. You're forgotten. You just say absolutely nothing. You shut up. And so anything you say, if a reporter asks you, you could say the wrong thing and it could be a lie, which you could be caught in. You just have to be quiet. You almost have to go witness protection. You know what I mean? So it's stay low, say nothing, let the press do their thing, and then let it run out. That's what you do.
I mean, we've been talking about this, and this is the off-season, Tori. Wait till the first week of the NFL season, and they show Mike Vrabel's face on not even just a regular game. They'll probably be playing. They played in the Super Bowl, so they'll probably be on the Sunday night game. So that means everybody in this effing country that cares about football will be watching that game. And when Mike Vrabel's face comes on that TV in a couple months on Sunday night, Diana Rossini's name is going to be back in the press again.
Let me say something. In a couple months, everybody's forgotten, to be super honest, because we have such a short memory. And two, the man never gets blamed. It's who are we talking about? Her. He's a coach at football. He gets a pass. I know it. So they might bring her up, but I mean, I'd be surprised if they really talked about it a lot. So I would be surprised. So, yeah.
I'll tell you one kind of interesting dynamic, and you kind of hit on it, whether you even knew it or not, was, obviously I was listening when this was a really big story. I was listening to a lot of like local New England sports radio. And it's so interesting. We in this country, freedom of speech, baby, America, baby, freedom of speech. I'll say what I want. A lot of those guys were exercising their freedom to not say much or not say anything. And their other co-hosts were giving them shit, but they were like, I got to interview this guy 17 times this upcoming season. Do you think he doesn't see what people say about him? And so there is this weird thing where I do feel like Vrabel's gotten a free pass, but I think he's using the leverage that you get when you just took a team to the effing Super Bowl. Okay, and people want to be in your orbit, right or wrong. More wrong than right, but just it's human.
Agree, but look at Bob Kraft. Look at Belichick. Are we still talking about him with his 14? Excuse me, that's defamation. But like his super young girlfriend who's we've moved on because they are football coaches and they're men. It doesn't happen. It just, nobody's been taken down except for the University of Michigan's guy, who I went to University of Michigan. So that coach was definitely arrested.
But no, he got off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's such a double standard. And it sucks that we just talk about her. And I'm glad you're talking about him. But